My name is Eggy. I used to work behind the scenes of a failed SMP. This is my story. Holly, who I knew from my Geometry of Art and Design class, approached me one day with the idea of hosting a Minecraft SMP for their friend. Now, this was during the golden days of the Minecraft Renaissance, where everyone and their mom was creating a roleplay heavy SMP for their own. They offered me pay in return for occupying space on my computer's drive and for helping maintain the server. Time for a little bit of egg lore. This won't take long, I promise. I come from a family of STEM enthusiasts. Personally, I've always been interested in making my own games, and my brother was a computer science major. He even helped me build this kind of beefy PC, so I had all the requirements necessary to host a server for this person. A good amount of RAM, knowledge of Minecraft and its workings, and the ability to look things up on the internet when I didn't understand anything. So, I figured it wouldn't be that hard, plus I was getting paid for it. So I said yes. What a mistake that was. For now, let's talk about the owner of SMP, Minus. He was close friends with Holly, they did everything together close. Minus streamed them every Tuesday, they ate lunch in the student lounge together. Every time a new semester came up, they coordinated their registrations to ensure that they shared every single class. It was that kind of close. Now, I myself was never definitely Minus, but I went to high school with Holly. I seen them at their worst, helped them through panic attacks. And honestly, I felt a little abandoned when they started hanging out with me less in favor of hanging out more with Minus. Maybe that's why I jumped at the opportunity to help them out. I guess the whole point of me making this video series is to say that no matter how skilled or how talented your members are, no matter how tight-knit your community is, without good leadership, your SMP will fail. There were some really amazing builders and a couple people really enthusiastic about the technical side of Minecraft on the server. There's even a dedicated team of non-players that work behind the scenes to ensure that the roleplay sequences went as smoothly as possible. And it still failed. I'm Eggy, and I'll be your guide as to why the Minus SMP failed. This guide will take the form of a series of videos walking you through a single-player copy of the world download of the Minus SMP, of me providing insider knowledge on the events that unfolded at specific locations. So now we're going to jump into the actual main section of this video. We're going to actually jump into the world download of the Minus SMP and talk about exactly what happened there. I think this is Alb's house. Alb was one of the more redstone-focused people, but he also really was a great interior designer. Obviously, he wasn't using this texture pack. I think he was using the regular Java textures. So, I'll probably show that afterwards, but I'm currently using Mizuno's, so obviously this isn't how exactly he wanted it to look. Alp was one of those weird redstoners who did everything in a way that wasn't contemporary. As you can see, he's already not the most regular redstoner because he knows how to build. Looking at you, Mumbo. But as you can see, his sorting system was in the floorboards. Look, everything. I think hold on, let me check. I think he even had a, let's see, is it in here? Yeah, it's in here. He had a sorting system in a book that explains the sorting system. So barrels labeled in hierarchy from closest to the door from left to right, reference point being the person standing facing the fireplace, and then he has a chart over here with a key explaining what his sorting system was. Oh my god. I don't think he was a great terraformer either, but I mean, he is a good builder, he is a good redstoner, but he wasn't a great terraformer because he just kind of left the ground kind of barren and just built on top of it. But here we are, standing in front of Beatleland. Beatleland is actually Alb's best friend's place. Obviously they weren't as close as Minus and Holly, but they were still very good friends. That's why they were enlisted into the server. They were very close friends, but they were also aspiring YouTubers themselves. So they were here to kind of start their own careers as they entered the Minus SMP. The mine shaft goes down a little bit far. I'm pretty sure that, if I recall correctly, because I wasn't really friends with this person, I think their name was Wren. Yeah, Wren. Wren was a massive fan of the Beatles, and they actually wanted to convert this to a amusement park for the Beatles. Oh, yeah. So, Alb and Wren had this joke that Wren wanted a melon pumpkin farm to trade with these villagers, so they were like, oh, Alb, let me get a melon pumpkin farm. But because they didn't realize that melon pumpkin farms continuously produce and constantly produce, they would have to deal with this lag machine every time they log in and enter the chunks that this was in. So they would try their best to come around and collect the lag-inducing items over here, but obviously it wasn't always enough. They also tried to build a village. This is like a free-roam villager. Like, the whole idea of Beatleland was a hippie paradise. They wanted it to be free-roam villagers, but unfortunately, they had to lock some of these people up. Eventually, some of these villagers died, but what can you do? They're kind of stupid. No offense to anyone who actually enjoys them. They also had a bee farm over here. I think that the best. This is the best example of. Okay, am I gonna get trapped here? Nope, we're good. I feel like the best example of close-knit communities in this SMP would be between Beatleland and Alb's place, because they were already very close with each other. They were already well aware of what their antics are, they were well aware of what their tics are, like how they interact with each other and how they get mad and how to avoid stuff like that. But they weren't really that close with Holly and Minus, so when Minus kind of left the server because they had their own issues to deal with, everyone else was like, oh, okay, I guess I won't join then, because nothing's holding me back from just leaving. Nothing's holding me here in the first place. So I guess that's where I'm going to end the episode here. I've shown you a little bit of the intricacies of how the Minus SMP. I've shown you a little bit of how the Minus SMP looks. I've shown you a little bit of how people in the server weren't just like stereotypical YouTubers. They knew how to build. They knew how to do redstone. They knew some of the intricacies of how Minecraft worked. So the shame is, they had everything laid out. They had everything perfectly ready for them to have a successful SMP, but unfortunately, because without a strong leader, they just couldn't. I feel that's really, I'm really sorry for that. Like, I could have been the one to step up, but I was just the BTS member. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't an admin or anything. I couldn't do anything to help them.